Hey there, it's Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch, and today it's all about the bees and hopefully not about the stings. So today I am installing my 8 Nucleus hives, woohoo, into these supers that you can see behind me. What I was hoping to do yesterday was to actually install the nukes last night. But we didn't end up, because it was so hot, we didn't want to transport the bees when it was super hot, so we didn't actually go where we were picking them up was an hour away. And we didn't want to go do that when it was so hot. So I think we ended up getting back at around 8:30 yesterday evening. And my bee guy told me it was no problem just to leave them in a cool location overnight and then do it today. Generally, you're supposed to, it's best anyways, to install nukes in the evening. They're all accustomed to being in the hive in the evening, so they're not wanting to go off and forage and follow all of those instincts. So they tend to stay put. But it looks like it's going to be another smoking hot day today, and I don't want to leave the nukes sitting even under a tree in the shade, because even in the shade it's still getting, you know, close to 30 degrees Celsius. And I mean, the other reason too is, of course, it's cool in the morning, so being dudded out in this suit, it's much more comfortable for the beekeeper as well to be able to do things when things are cool. So doing it early in the morning like this is also helpful for me. A couple of things that you need when you are installing nukes, or actually I should put it, if you're transporting nukes, if it's hot, if the temperatures are high, you'll remember from my last video, which I'll post up above, that bees drink water. And also bees produce a ton of heat. So if they can survive, if you think about it this way, they can produce enough heat to survive when it's, you know, minus 30 degrees Celsius. Oh, mosquitoes everywhere this morning. A disadvantage of doing it early in the morning in our location is the mosquitoes are out. But anyways, if you keep a spray bottle handy and you spray, I'll demonstrate that, but if you spray the side of your nuke, there's a little hole in it where they're getting ventilation. If you spray from a distance away, then they have a chance to drink, but it also helps to cool them off. This little opening is where they're getting their ventilation. So I'm just using just a standard spray bottle, but it has a fine mist. Make sure you do that because you don't want to drown them. You can drown them. And this gently spray in there. Spray bottle, spray bottle. A lot of people use a smoker. I actually don't and never have used a smoker. I didn't end up getting one at the beginning, and I've always worked with my bees without one. I know that it's a good idea to have one. It helps keep them calm and things like that. But I don't. So if you don't have one, it's not a big deal. You can work them without one. So when you get your bees back to your location, wherever you're going to be installing them, sit them for an hour before you install them, or overnight. Again, I said it was best to install them in the evening, and it is, but again, you do what works for you. And for me, it's working to do it early in the morning. Some good gloves and a suit. So, interesting fact, the reason that you wear a white bee suit, and you'll notice today that this bee suit, well, it's stained, but it's actually clean. So you can see in that video I'll link above from my last video about bees that I was not wearing a clean bee suit. It had stress pheromones from the bees all over it and definitely aggravated them. So I did wash the suit before I came out here today. But the bee suit is white because it is a color that that just does not aggravate the bees. One of the worst colors to wear is black or like dark navy blue or any really dark colors around bees, because to them, a dark color like that, especially on a large object, is usually representative of a bear or even a skunk, like a predator of some sort, so that tends to aggravate them. Yesterday when I was picking up my bees, I was wearing lighter colors, but my camera, I asked the bee guy if I could film him. I'll put some of that footage right here, but of the and I noticed that when I was holding the camera, the bees were coming all over. They were climbing on my hands. I know, bare hands, no gloves. I had bees climbing on my hands. Whew, that took some like willpower not to completely lose my mind, but they were climbing, and so anywhere that because the camera is black, they were actually climbing all over it and all over my hands. So that was really interesting. Sort of interesting proof that yes, indeed, that is a fact. They do not like black. I didn't actually get stung, which I was very grateful for. It seems to be the year of stings for me. But they did actually climb all over that. So white, if you're going out to your hives, even if you're not going to wear a suit and you're one of those brave people, just wear light colors and that seems to work. Or if you're super scared of bees and you're in an area where there are a lot of bees, wear light colors. Obviously no perfumes because you don't want to smell like a flower. And also if you're using to wash your clothes, if you say you know you're going to go somewhere, you're going to go camping and there's going to be a lot of bees and wasps and things like that around, don't wash your stuff in things that are going to smell like flowers because it will attract the bees. So I think that's about it. We'll go get started, grab the nucs, bring them up here, and I will show you how to put them in a hive. So this, my friends, is what a nuc looks like. I was a bit worried about this one too because it wasn't super active on the front screen, but it looks great. Okay, so I'm using, as you can see, this is a really high-tech hive tool. So my last video, I ended up throwing my hive tool and I found it again and then promptly lost it again. So the screwdriver works just fine. I will get another hive tool. So remember, gentle, gentle, gentle when you're taking these out. And you want to put them in your new super in the order that you take them out. So this is actually empty. I might end up needing to actually feed some of these. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look. Let's see if I can find the queen for you guys. And you can see that they are not stressed out in the least. So what you're looking at there, that is called capped brood. So inside of there, little bees forming. So that's good. There's lots of, and there's some honey. I don't know if you can see that up in that corner. That's capped honey. They do not have a lot of food in here. So I'm looking around to see if I can spot the queen for you. So you'll notice these guys aren't aggressive at all. I could probably do this barehanded, although I'm not going to. And the reason that is because they're not super territorial yet. They've been moved into these boxes not long ago and introduced to a new queen. So they're not feeling, and they also don't have a ton of honey stores, so they're not feeling aggressive like they need to defend their hive. So nice and gentle in there. So I really hope that at least in one of these I'm going to be able to find the queen for you so that you can check her out. But the good news is there is a lot of brood in there, which means that queen bee is doing her job, but I don't see her yet. I'd really like to, oh, there she is. Oh, look, look, look. Can you guys see her? She's big. She's actually trying to hide. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can point to her. Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, there she is. Look, right there. And she's trying to hide. Can you see her hiding in there? So I want to be super gentle with this frame so that we don't end up hurting her. So really, really gentle. And again, put them in the way that you took them out. There we go. Okay, these ones I'm just going to push over to the side here so I can slide this one in. So they really don't have, you can see here, that shiny stuff, that's uncapped honey. So these guys don't actually have a ton of stores here. Oh, one other thing I'll mention is another reason to put it in really, really gently. You don't want to squish them, but you also don't want to roll them. That kills them. So gentle, gentle, gentle. There, push those in nice and snug. Push all these guys over. So I'll use my super snazzy high-tech hive tool here. Okay, so this one is not in straight. So you'll see that these frames have little spacers on them. This one's stuck. Ugh. So you just want to line them up so that the spacers are giving you adequate space. So then I push everything over to the side, push everything in nice and snug, and then I leave myself space so that when I'm going to come in and check these guys later on, that I have some room to move. Otherwise it's really snug. I'm just going to leave the box by the entrance of the hive here so that these bees can make it in, back in. We're going to lid this Very, very gently. So you'll notice on here that I don't have any top board. So normally you're gonna have a board that goes on top of this and then you put this on. So I realized that I didn't actually have enough when I had these hives, so I have to go get some and then I'll put those on. But this will work for now. So I'm gonna close this hive right up, but in the summertime, a trick to increase ventilation is to actually tip the lid up and put a stick inside of here so that they get more ventilation. So I will be doing that, but I'm gonna leave this locked down until these bees are settled in. So I'm gonna show you another one of my high-tech fixes. So you'll notice here that I have stuck a stick across the entrance and there's just a little bit of an entrance to the hive right here. You see that? So the reason that I'm doing that is because this hive is just getting going and they are not super strong. So this is the area that they have to defend, which is much smaller than this area. So once the hive gets really active, I'll take the stick out and allow them full access. But in the meantime, that just allows them to sort of protect a smaller entrance from robbing or any other predators that might try to get into their hive. So let's get on with the rest of the nuc installation. I wanted to show you guys this. I've not seen this in one of my nucs before. But that, right there, you see that? That is how the queen was installed into this hive. So she actually, I'm gonna get that out for you so you can see. Gently, gently, gently. So the queen was in here. See if you can see that, there we go. And on the end of this, there was a sugar plug. So the bee keeper put the bees in and then stuck this queen in there. If he had just thrown the queen in there, they would have killed her. But they were able to acclimatize. You can see this has some vents in it. I don't know if acclimatize is the right word, but they were able to get used to her smell and understand that that was their queen. And then they eat out the tip of this, the sugar plug that's there. And then by that time, they've all adjusted and they've accepted her as their queen. And that's just amazing. So I've never actually seen this in here before, so that's pretty cool. So, okay, let's get to getting this one in there. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions for videos that you'd like to see, please don't be shy, post those below. Some of the requests that we've had that we are working on are, how the heck do you afford a homestead? So we can't talk about that for everyone, but for us, we can explain how it is that we've gone about doing it. How do you finance a homestead, things like that. Also a farm tour, that's a big requested one, so we're gonna do a farm tour in the next couple of weeks. And then also to go through some of the old buildings that we have and talk a bit about their history, and then a lot of the old equipment that is here. We're gonna talk more about that and then see if we can find some modern applications for a lot of the old things that we can find on our property. So those are some things that you can look forward to in the next couple of weeks. Again, like it if you, just heard a bee buzzing by my ear. Like this video if you did like it. Comment below, leave us any requests or anything that you want to hear from us or questions you have. It doesn't even have to be farm related. If you hear me talking about other things and you want to know more about them, leave those in the comments below and subscribe if you would like to see more from us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.